For this video, I want to show you my spin art machine. Now this is a slow turn machine, and you can make some pretty fun and interesting designs with it. Then these can be moved over to a fast spin machine and get these other effects. But I've made thousands of these, and that's not an exaggeration. I've made anywhere from 700 to 1,500 a year for probably 10 or 12 years. And all kinds of different patterns are possible. I've never made two that were exactly the same. I've tried many times and I can get them close. Alright, so spin art is just great fun for me, and a lot of students in the past have told me they loved it too. And I've got a couple of blanks cut out here, and I'll make a piece in just a minute just to show you how it works. But first, for the STEM students, that is science, technology, engineering, and math students, people that like that sort of thing, I'll explain a little bit about this box. The main component is this wheel. This is a platen. I call it a platen. It has to turn in a perfectly flat plane, and that is difficult to achieve. But once I get that working right, then the machine works great. I'll show you inside of this, and you can see several things in here, and I'll show you what those pieces are. This is the speed controller. By turning this knob, I can adjust the speed of that wheel. This is one of the motors, and it's a high torque motor. It's got a lot of RPMs, but it's geared down. It's got a lot of torque. That is, it's able to turn against resistance very well. This is the coupler. It's what fits between the motor shaft and the platen, or the spinning wheel. And then this is a voltage regulator. This allows me to control how many volts reach the motor, and that also helps me to refine the speed to keep it within certain limits. And other than that, it's paper and markers. Well, the box is built out of different material. This is built out of Lexan, and I've built others just out of plywood. But now it's a really high-grade plywood. It doesn't have the little voids in it. This is a really, really high-grade plywood. It could be built out of the cheaper stuff, but I just would rather build it out of the best stuff I can get. Alright, now it just plugs in to anywhere from 12 volts to 24 volts, and the little voltage regulator that I showed you, that will step it down or make it what it needs to be to work right. So it's just a matter of plugging this in, and it turns on with a little switch right here on the side. I put the paper on there, and there's so many ways to go about this. You can draw rings and then color within the rings, or you can just start making colorful rings from the start. If you want to start with rings like this and then color in between them, that works. If you move your pen back and forth, you get a ring that's kind of extra wide and has a little bit of a special effect to it. Then when you start laying on your colors, it can be any combination of colors. I kind of like the colors of the rainbow. So I'm going to start this outer ring with red. And you don't have to press down hard. Let the machine do the work. Orange. It just takes a few minutes to fill it in. You just have to be patient. If you get in a hurry and you move the pen really quick, then you get that. And sometimes that is exactly what you want, because it makes a really pretty pattern. You could then go over that with a different color and fill it in. Now, it takes maybe 3 or 4 minutes to make one. You can make one as quickly as just a minute. It just depends on what you want to do. Now, when I'm in a situation where I've got a lot of people waiting on their turn to make a piece of art, then I have to kind of narrow down the choices. I've got red, orange, yellow. I might go to this last one with green. Sometimes you just have to try it and see what you get. Then if I took this and put it on a fast turn machine, now the difference is the fast turn machine slings paint. And it's what gives the beautiful effect of those streaks coming off of it. At least I think it's beautiful. Now if I put this blue over the yellow, some of it will turn green and some of it will still be blue. And what's disappointing is when you get something really pretty and then you decide, well, I'm going to do just a little bit more, and then you ruin it. So if it looks good, it may be time to quit. Of course, I can take any design and put it on the fast turn machine and put the streaks on there, and then it turns out much better, in my opinion. All right, there's a piece. The pastel colors work really well contrasted with some of the darker colors, in my opinion. I'll do one more, and then I have some other things I want to show you. I'm just going to do a rainbow. The top of the rainbow would be red, so I'll just start way out here with red. I like these markers, these kinds of markers, because they have a big tip and they put down a lot of color quickly, and they're very, I call it juicy. They're wet. If you get a marker that starts to dry out, that's frustrating to work with. So there's my red. The orange is very close to red. Looks on the camera, so I'm going to leave a little white line between them. Now, I can see the difference between the red and the orange, but on the video it doesn't always show up. So there's red, orange, yellow. And you may be wondering, will the machine work in both directions? Yes, I can change the direction. I'm not going to. I don't think I have the reversing switch on this, but I can make the machine turn counterclockwise, which it is doing now, or clockwise. Red, orange, yellow, green. I've built probably 15 of these machines over the last 10 or 12 years. I still have about 7 or 8 of them that work. A lot of them I just took them apart and rebuilt them. Here's a little bit darker green for contrast on the green, just to do something a little bit different. Red, orange, yellow, green, and I'm just going to end with blue. I don't think I'm going to put the purple. I've got room for the purple, but I may put just a little bit of purple at last. It's a dark color, and it gives good contrast. Sometimes that works great. And purple and yellow are complementary colors. Let's see what happens if I put one there. It just turns brown. Yeah, well, I thought it probably would. And if you want to add more contrast, you can blacken the edges of these things a little bit. Sometimes that makes them look better. And so because this takes so long, I had to build a lot of these machines for everybody to get a turn. Now that's what I come up with, and it looks like it took about maybe 3 minutes a piece on these, but that's what I got. And it's really easy to get pretty results if you're just patient, and let the marker do the work. All right. Now I have something else I want to show you, something that I found several years ago. I bought it off Amazon, and they were relatively inexpensive at that time. I paid $8 for this little booklet, and now they're $30. They're very popular, evidently, and surprisingly, it's extremely old technology. But it has come around again, and well, here it is.